Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and Happy New Year. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are in the world. This is USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network, where we celebrate and honor elevated listening. We really appreciate all that you've done for us, everyone out there listening or watching. We had a great 2022, and we're even more excited for 2023. So thank you for taking this journey with us. Our show today is The Wise Ones, and our topic is You Healing You with Dr. Teresa Cody. Joining me is the star of our show, Mr. Red O'Laughlin, and I can't say enough about him. If you watch any of our shows, you know how I really have a special place in my heart for him. He has done so much for not only our platform, but for me as a professional broadcaster, as well as an author. He is the star of this show. He also is one of our expert presenters on Talking Heads. He is also the star of a new show we just started today. We did it first thing this morning, Food and Our Emotions. And he is somebody who really is so open to working with you and to collaborating with you. And he's so loyal, trusting, and dependable. Let's welcome Mr. Red O'Laughlin to the program.
And yes, I was a Boy Scout once upon a time. You're going down all those adjectives.
Well, they're all true. They're all true. In fact, I told Roland, you're going to be starting on Wild at Heart, our men's show, and Roland Friedel actually hosts and moderates that show. And I said, let me tell you something. Red is extremely dependable, extremely loyal. You can count on him as for anything he commits to doing, he's going to be there. And not everybody can say that about people. So thank you, Red.
Roland and I will be chatting tomorrow afternoon as things go right now.
Yay, that's fantastic. All right, we've got a great guest backstage. And, you know, when we talk about the wise ones, I shared with you right before we started that I came up with this graphic. This is our new graphic for this year with our new logo. And the new logo has the flags from a number of countries where we have a great presence. And I think soon we'll be adding a second and third ring of flags around that. But the penguins are so interesting. They're so smart, and yet they make us kind of laugh, right? We kind of look at them and go, they're so cute. And I think about that with people. Sometimes people are so accomplished and so intelligent, but they have this other side to them where they're playful and joyful and creative. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely correct. Sometimes it's hard to get that button pushed or turn that switch on because of, you know, I'm an introvert. You know, I am not happy in the situation I'm in. But I learned many years ago that sometimes you got to take off the introvert hat, put on the extrovert hat, and do what needs to be done. As soon as the show's over, I go back into introvert mode. But some people don't find that temporary transition to being more open, and it's difficult for them to do that. So when those things happen, you know, if I'm standing in line, I'm not talking to anybody. But years ago, I learned that in order to become more comfortable in that, I now start having a conversation with people. And one of the first things I do, if I see another person with a haircut like mine, I'll make sure that I'm close enough where you can hear. So I say, "Hey, great haircut." And that usually is enough to get a smile or a comment and open up a conversation. If somebody has on some nice jewelry or a nice, whatever it may happen to be, I find myself now, if I'm stuck in a line and it's just nothing going on, I will usually instigate a conversation. 10 years ago, no way in the world that would ever happen. But you're right. There are so many interesting people out there, but sometimes they're captured in their own comfort zone, and it's very difficult to get them out where they can share some of their experiences in life.
Absolutely, Red. Thank you for sharing that. And when you told me you were an introvert the first time, I did not believe you. I can't see that, but I know you say it's true. But our guest today has a profession that is always one that has interested me so much. Dentistry. I love dentists. I'm obsessed with my teeth. I just will admit it. And I love dentists. I like to just talk shop with them about mouthwash and flossing. But you know our guest well. So if you would introduce her, I'd really appreciate it.
Well, several years ago, before COVID, I ran into Dr. Teresa Cody at local networking events. I'm in the southwest part of Houston. She's also there. She had a dentist office, and everything was going strong. And she had developed this process using PRP, platelet rich plasma, which she's going to go into a lot of detail on what it is, how it helps you, and how she got it. Anyway, lots of information there. And so she transitioned into that. In fact, I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm just going to let her talk about that. But she and I are both entrepreneurs. She has her own business now. She does what she does to help people in an unbelievable way that most of us would never even think possible. But the results are astounding. They really and truly are. And the thing is, it's you healing you as the topic of today. So, Dr. Teresa Cody, please join us.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank you
welcome.
so much for having me.
We're thrilled to have you, and I'm super excited to hear about your journey. Before we begin with that, I just have to ask you a dentist question. Is that okay?
I love somebody who loves dentists.
So here's my question for you.
Okay.
I use mouthwash, brush my teeth, and floss 5 times a day. And I also have one of those pick sets. And you know, the picks, and whenever I would go to the dentist, I'd have to get an a good report that I had no cavities. And when you stick the thing in your gums, it whatever. But I was told I shouldn't use that set of picks, and I'm brushing my teeth too much. What do you think?
You are. Okay, you can overdo it. I don't usually tell people not to floss that much, but once a day is probably okay, unless you have something between your teeth,
Wow. Okay. Wow. 4 times too many. All right. Well, thanks
And
for
you have it from the horse's mouth. This is what you're supposed to do. It doesn't get any more professional than that. You're on live TV right now.
That's right. Thank you for the consultation.
So floss once an hour.
Yeah. Can I just tell you I have my floss right here? Tell us about your journey that Red was starting to, and he said he'd save it for you.
Well, this is all my hairdresser's fault, actually. She had trigger fingers, which, let me see. Yeah. She could make this much of a fist. She could not get her fingers any closer than this. Just from a lot of years of cutting hair, blow drying, all of that. So I'm sitting in her chair, and I know this was a download from God, because she said, I'm going to go get another steroid shot. And I said, you can't do that. Why don't we try PRP, which is, like Red said, it's platelet rich plasma. So, and I'll explain what that is. So we've known each other a lot of years. She said, yeah, okay. Turns out dentists have been using platelet rich plasma for 30 years. We've had to use it for bone grafting. So if you didn't really get good enough bone to put an implant in. So by default, we were using it. I didn't really know what it was doing in there. And now I know it's fantastic. And so she came into the dental office, and we drew blood and spun it in a centrifuge. And the red blood cells fall to the bottom, and the plasma sits on top. So you can pipette it off, and then I injected it into her trigger finger areas. And she says, how long do you think before I see something? And I said, I don't know, 6 weeks. And so she says, okay, I'll send you pictures. So the next day she sends me a picture, and let me look. And this finger is touching like this. And I said, oh gosh, okay. Well, so I injected her Monday afternoon. Wednesday, she sends me a picture like this. And that's when I went, I got to know what this is. And that began my journey into this this PRP, platelet rich plasma world.
That's
It's
amazing. I've
interesting.
never heard of that before.
It's interesting because in one of my researches that I wrote about, I came across PRP and I wrote a blog on it, posted out it, and it wasn't even a week later that I'm at a networking event with Teresa, Dr. Cody, and she announces to the world she's doing this PRP. And I think I was the only one in that group who understood exactly what that was, because I
Right.
had gone a little bit more into what exactly is happening there. And so that was kind of, okay, fine. This really does happen in real life. And of course, she's bringing in, real world examples that are more than just teeth. And that's kind of what she evolved into. And I still find it fascinating.
Oh, it is. My nurse and I, we have a blast because we're helping so many people with, shoulders that won't heal and knees that won't heal. It heals ligaments and tendons. It is used in professional sports a lot. They use it. And I'll tell you who else uses it in horse medicine. They use it all the time because they have very long ligaments and tendons that don't heal. And if you can't heal, you have to put your horse down. So that pushed me into a lot of research. There are at least 17 growth factors, which I like to call healing factors, in the plasma. And the plasma is what your body uses to heal. So what we're doing is we're taking the portion of the blood that has all the healing factors, and we're concentrating them in an area. And they know what they need to do, and they just get to work, and they heal up actually almost 100% of what we've treated, which is crazy good.
So in your plasma, in your blood, you have plasma, you have red blood cells, you have white blood cells, you have platelets, and PRP is platelet rich plasma. So you said you're letting the red blood cells, and I guess the white blood cells also fall to the bottom. And so you're basically now having platelets that are concentrated in the plasma at a higher ratio than we typically see. And then I'm sure you do some other magic to them. And then
No, God does it all. I don't do any of it. I'm just the delivery person.
and so then you take it and inject it into the same person you got the blood from to begin with. And how long does that usually take?
20 minutes. It's a very quick procedure. And we numb you up before we put the plasma in, just because there's a lot of pressure when you're putting more liquid in to an area, because the body has enough liquid as it is. So we numb it up, and it takes about 8 to 10 minutes to spin it. And then we pipette it off and put it in the area we want to do. Go ahead.
I started blood donations many years ago. I did a gallon of regular blood, and then I was involved with plasma. Every Tuesday and Thursday on the way home, I would stop by and give off. And so I got 25 gallons of plasma I've given. And then I got into platelets, and I gave probably 10 or 12 gallons of platelets. So it's a subject very near and dear to my heart. And it's interesting, some of the stories you hear that you're not supposed to hear, from the phlebotomists and from the doctors and things like that. But since you're getting your own back, you don't have to worry about blood typing and pH and not pH, but RH and all those other things that are associated, because it's
Right.
totally safe. You're getting everything that you donated back, right? Except you're getting in a better mixture, a better concentration, so that now you have the worker bees unionized and working all together in one area.
Oh, I like that analogy,
Good
because
one,
it
Red.
is. That was a
Wow.
really good one.
Come up with that. Doctor, is this a one and done? So you come in for one treatment and then that's it, or is there a maintenance program?
It really depends on what you're looking to accomplish. We also use it for skin, for aesthetics, and so that we have. Most women want to continue to use it for like a tendon injury. Sometimes we're one and done, and sometimes we're two, and sometimes we're three. And it depends on what the patient kind of does with it afterwards. You know, they feel so much better that they overdo it.
Is it a replacement or an alternative for fillers and Botox, etc.?
I wouldn't say it's an alternative. What I would say is that it's about the most natural way to increase your collagen and decrease your pore size. And it does, this lighting is not terrific today, but so I'm looking I like your backgrounds better than mine. But you're in professional studio. I'm just in my office. And it does create this glow. Women get a glow. Well, men too. I just don't have as many men patients. You get a glow to your skin that you kind of don't realize you've lost. That you look at a 21-year-old and they're glowing. And since I'm not 21 anymore, I have to put it in.
Guess what, doctor? You're glowing. How about that? You are glowing.
I always thought that when you're glowing, you're pregnant.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So you have in your banner dentists with CNC Wellness. So it sounds like you provide a number of services there.
Yes, we do. Well, my dental office is CNC Dental. Comes from Cashin and Cody. My husband's name is Cashin. We're not very original. So at the Wellness Center, we offer vitamin infusions, filler, Botox, the PRP. We also have a new radio frequency treatments. Their radio frequency creates heat, and so it is able to melt fat and reshape like the jawline and reduce wrinkles. And so very excited. That's new for 2023.
That is exciting. I was just thinking to myself, maybe this is what you're doing. But when I went to the dentist, anytime I've gone to the dentist, I thought, give me Botox, give me a pedicure, give me a manicure. Why can't I get the whole thing done while I'm here? Is that anything you do there?
One of our goals is to do everything we can at the dentist so you don't have to go anywhere else. Now, we don't have pedicures yet, but you've given me a good idea.
If you think about it, most people are nervous when they go to the dentist, right? I'm like really excited. But in order to calm people down, like just make them maybe a little shoulder massage if you're not getting in the way of the dentist. There's so many options.
No. Most people, that's not true. Today, there's a lot of people who love the dentist because they grew up and the dentist was nice to them. Not like my dentist. My dentist didn't use anesthesia on the kids. So I can't believe I'm a dentist, but he was not a good example.
But it's not unusual in some places in the world to get a massage while you're at the dentist. But I'm using that in a jokingly sort of way. I was in Tainan, Taiwan, southern part of Taiwan, and they had literally an 1850s kind of barber chair there that you get, but it was for massages. And so you get a head massage while I was getting a shave. Then this young lady, probably about 15 years of age, whatever, climbs up on my chest. She couldn't weigh 70 pounds. And she's giving me a massage on my chest and my shoulder. And I'm thinking to myself, I got a guy trying to shave me. I got somebody massaging I got somebody sit. And I'm thinking to myself, this is something you don't see every day.
Definitely not. Did you get to see a therapist afterwards or no?
No, I think I was the only one who spoke English.
Well, I do have massage here at the Wellness Center, but I might bring it over to the dental office.
This collaboration that we're all doing here today, I love it. So a question I have for you is, in addition to being a dentist and having this wellness center, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person. And what did you find during the pandemic? Was your business impacted? Were more people seeking out
Oh,
wellness?
um, not in the beginning. The dental office was highly impacted because our governor shut us down for 6 weeks, and wouldn't let us. We were not essential. I don't think he realized that my husband went in every single day for a person because there was a toothache. So that was highly impacted. We had just had opened the wellness center in February of 2019. And so that was like February of 2020, March. And so it kind of shut us down for a long time. It's taken a while to get back going, but I do have a group that started coming for vitamin infusions, and they come every 2 weeks because they realized how much better they felt, and they weren't getting sick, and everybody around them was. So that was interesting. I mean, even people fearful of, getting a catheter, getting an IV, started dedicating themselves. But I think they saw the results. So that built up. The cosmetic side of it is coming back much better in 21 and 22.
Does any of that not cosmetic, when you talk about trigger finger, is that something that insurance covers now? Because I know a long time ago they weren't. Is that something that they're coming around to?
I don't take insurance at
Okay.
the center. I take cash.
Cash is king.
Well, I take credit cards, but I've made the pricing so affordable so that I don't mess with insurance. I've spent a career fighting with insurance, and I have a whole person working on insurance all the time trying to get reimbursement. So I decided I'm not doing that here.
Okay.
They don't pay for it anyway. They don't want to pay for it.
Okay, because it is a corrective procedure that it does have a history of working, but there may not be enough cases of it to say, okay.
Oh, there are enough cases. They don't want to pay for it.
They just don't
But
want to pay for it.
insurance is not really your friend.
Well,
Don't even get me started on that. We're going to take this show down another path. But you know what's interesting when you talk about injectables or cosmetics? I know myself, as well as a number of friends I've had, that was always a priority. It's like, well, forget everything else. I'm getting a face load of stuff, okay? And I hope I don't fall over and damage myself while settling in, because it does give you a whole new feel about yourself, a whole new level of confidence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fillers are great. Now, Hollywood there's a lot of people overdoing it a little bit these days. And that makes people really a little nervous about it. But you can do it very naturally. So it just enhances your face and doesn't take away. Because I don't want you to be not you. I don't want you to look in the mirror and go, oh, that doesn't look like me anymore. But it does take a little artistic eye. I think that's where some providers go wrong. They get taught and they're not really looking at the patient. So I really like fillers. They're just another way to keep yourself, especially cheeks. Cheeks are wonderful.
I love it. Just a quick story. I was dating someone and we went to see the plastic surgeon, and he said, hey, get whatever you want. I'm like, hey, great. So I got a number of things done, and the doctor, some of them I hadn't had done before, and the doctor didn't say anything like, you can't go to work tomorrow. So I was picking up my boss, and he gets in the car and he's like, what the F did you do to yourself? Well, here I had like a duck lip like this. I looked, I couldn't even speak. I was like, hello, how you doing? And we had to go meet clients, these two young guys. And long story short, I couldn't move my lips and I just started sweat. Anyway, it was plastic cosmetics gone wrong. But you were supposed to wait a couple days, I guess, until it all
You just needed the post-op instructions.
but afterwards it looked good. It was nicely done. Just shouldn't have gone
Well,
that way.
whenever we inject anything in, except the plasma, you do swell. There's a swelling process.
And there's an easy way to address that one too, if you ever want to know about it. There's a couple
What
of
is
things.
it?
Well, one of them is it's in the rind of a mangosteen plant. It's a not a catechin, it's a xanthone called gamma mangosteen, and it shuts down the COX-1 enzyme that starts the entire autoimmune response to any kind of injury or trauma or whatever. It's probably the best one out there because it doesn't affect the COX-1 enzyme at all. Another one that's probably cheaper, easier to get is Indian curry is turmeric. If you take the turmeric that has the piperine, the black pepper extract, and that is now about 2,000% more bioavailable because turmeric is not, but that curcuminoid gets into the level, shuts down the COX-1 enzyme, and they both do an exceptionally good job of having literally no swelling whatsoever. Now you may still have a slight, let's say that I were to bang my thumb against something. Yeah, I could still squeeze it and feel some pain, but I would have no swelling, no redness, no soreness whatsoever. That might be something to look at a little bit more there, doctor, on your patients, because it's something, it's a pill form. You can take a liquid the day before. It's actually a very optional thing and it's all natural. I know of very, very few people have any side effects from any of those. So that might be something
Good idea.
Dr. Cody supplements. I love it. Put up a couple shelves there. Here you go.
But seriously, there's very few things out there, and I've only found 2 in 10 years of research, and I've been looking for them, of what shuts down COX-1 but does not touch COX-2. And
Right.
those are about the only 2, and the gamma mangosteen is by far superior.
Okay. Good to know.
The next time we see you, you're going to be giving pedicures. You're going to be selling supplements.
My husband's going to say, what is wrong with you? 3 more businesses?
Now, when you were setting up, you had a poster up of something with vampires, something or other. Is that one of the services that you offer?
Well, it's called a vampire facial, but it's not your regular facial. It's a facial with your plasma. So you can do it with a skin pen, which makes little channels. And but we found that the most effective way is we numb up 4 areas and we inject the PRP right in your face. And it's a lovely facial. It may not be that relaxing, but you look darn good after you get one.
Do you look good right away, or is there some period of time that it takes?
Okay, so one night we were here and we were drinking wine and we were just hanging out. And my dental assistant was here and the patient was here. And I'm looking at the patient, which I don't usually get to see this. And I'm watching, and her cheek, it starts to glow, and it was moving down her face. So that was probably 2 hours after she had the treatment. And I said to my dental assistant, do you see that? And she goes, oh, I see it. So you can see it happen. It's unbelievable. But we do it on a kind of, what we found is women want that glow to come back over. They want to keep it. And, not 20 anymore. So they come in. We take all the plasma we need at the first visit, and they come back about every 8 weeks, and very quick. We keep it in the freezer because you can freeze blood. and then we defrost it and numb them up and put it in. And, they're in and out in 20 minutes unless they stop and get a vitamin bag, which a lot of times they do.
So every 6,000 miles, you reinfuse.
Yeah. Well, my nurse is a little older than I am, and she was like, I am not young anymore. I need to do this more often. And I said, okay, let's try it. And it's been working out. It doesn't take very much time. They pop in, we take care of it. And so it's kind of our vampire program.
Since the last time
every 8 weeks.
Since the last time I met you, you are now an author. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I decided that this was so exciting, and we've seen so much healing. And like Dr. Jacalyn said, she doesn't know anything about it. So I decided to write a book, and I just tell the stories of our first probably 2 years of patients, maybe a year and a half. And just started writing it down because I knew, how time goes by. You think you're going to remember, but you don't remember. So I wrote a book called You Healing You, because that's what you're doing. And it just has pictures. And I got a text yesterday from one of our financial advisors, and he goes, my entire family read your book. I think my dad's going to call for an appointment. He did. So I just thought maybe that would be a good way to get the information out there.
And so they go to your website and they can find the book there?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest way. It's, You Healing You and Dr. Teresa Cody, and it'll pop up.
Doctor, do you plan on writing any more books, or is this really something as an extension of the work you're doing today?
I didn't plan on writing any more books. And then a girl that helps me get on podcasts and stuff, she said, when are you writing the second book? I said, I don't know. So I started the other day. I told her I wrote 250 words. But that's how you do it. I just have to sit down and write every day.
Well, you can go back to Amy and say, when are you writing your first book?
Amy's never written a book?
No.
I didn't know that. Wow. Amazing. Well, Doctor, do you want to share anything about this book, the 250 words? What's the subject matter?
Well, I decided there's some other things that people don't know anything about. And one of them, I don't like how they named it, but it's sleep disordered breathing. It's basically sleep apnea in children. And the dentist can be have a profound effect on children who are not breathing correctly and not breathing at night correctly. It causes a whole host of symptoms that look very unrelated, but they're all there, like bedwetting, ADD, ADHD, inability to concentrate. You can imagine if you are suffocating at night, then you're not going to feel very good in the morning. They'll have, just all kinds of behavior problems, and with palatal expansion and the ENT, because a lot of times, they have huge tonsils and they're not breathing and nobody's looking at them. And we kind of entered a time where they stopped doing tonsillectomies. It goes, medicine, people don't realize it, but medicine goes through fashionable things, goes in and out of what is currently fashionable to do. But so that's what I wrote about. There's a lot more to it, but you can do palatal expansion. That really helps because the palate is the floor of the nose. And if they're not breathing through their nose properly, they won't develop the mouth properly. So you can tell they'll have crooked teeth. So that was where I started.
So if a person is interested in a vampire facial or just in the PRP for any other part of the body that needs some attention, they just show up and it happens, or you need to do some preliminary work, or you handle stuff over the phone? What's a typical process for somebody you've never seen before to walk away a happy camper?
Well, they call me, make an appointment, because we're not. I answer the phone because I have 17 employees next door, and I'm not trying to have not one more. So I decided as long as I can, I would answer the phone. So they call me, make an appointment. They come in. We talk about what we've seen, what we haven't seen, and if they want to do it, we draw blood right then, numb them up, and take care of it. It's a very quick appointment, and so it kind of depends. There are situations where the patient wants to try, and I feel good about it because I know it will not hurt them, right? It's them. So the worst that could happen is it doesn't help the physical ailment, right?
Are there any pre-existing conditions that create a problem with PRP?
If you had a severe blood disorder, right? But you would know about that. That would be something that was diagnosed,
Okay.
right?
So basically, literally almost everyone could benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to live close enough to Sugar Land, Texas to really benefit.
Really do. But I have people fly in, and it's silly that they fly so far for something really everybody could be doing. But I do
suggest that in one of our upcoming shows that Red comes to see you and we see a real live procedure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
There you
Yes.
go.
Well, maybe I might do that with my wife.
Exactly. I was going to say,
because that would be a better present for her than for me, and I think that might be something to even get. Anyway, I like the idea. My wife is scared to death of needles, and she has a very difficult time giving blood.
Oh, thanks. Really great.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. I hold her hand. I put my hand over her eye, put her head off to the side. I cover her eyes. She squeezes the hell out of my hand. And so that's about the only way. But she is AB positive, and so a lot of her plasma was going to neonatal care when she was doing 2 donations a week.
Oh yeah.
And they actually, Houston Chronicle did a very nice article about her donating her blood and the plasma actually getting to the end result, and the whole journey was talked about. But that was many years ago. But that would be something that I would seriously consider.
There you go. I love how we're collaborating today. Growing your business, new patients. I just wanted to ask you in reference to this second book that you're writing. I actually know someone who has a very hard time sleeping. A lot of you almost are just like, wow, I hope that they're not going to stop breathing. And it's a serious thing. It really is. So is what it is that's the solution. Is this something that is also ongoing, or is it one and done?
Well, the orthodontics, reshaping the mouth so that they can breathe, you got to get to nasal breathing. One of the things is that when you breathe through your mouth, the oxygen, the partial pressure is not the same as when you breathe through your nose. So the oxygen doesn't get pushed through the tissue as easily. So it's not as good a breathing as nasal breathing. So our goal with the kids is to do expansion and to get, it's amazing. Their throats will open up when you expand their palates. That's what I actually did as a dentist. That was my main focus. So I thought, maybe I'll write about it because still people don't know about it.
Yeah, I think more people need to know about it because you can bring a lot of peaceful night's sleep to people.
I have one last question before we conclude today. Do you remember any Flemish from living in Belgium all those years ago?
I do know one word. I know a couple of words, but a couple I can't say on here. The bus drivers taught us those words. But I do know how to say milk because it was on the milk carton, and it's milk, M-E-L-K. So that was not a tough one. But the one the bus driver taught us, I can't tell you here.
We're providing all kinds of education here today, Flemish words as well.
So the best way to contact you, doctor, is through your website or through the phone or email?
Through my phone is the easiest, or my email. I don't have online scheduling. I can't figure out how to make that work.
And doctor, for people who can't read the banner, can you just share the information with them?
I'm Dr. Teresa Cody, and I'm a dentist. And my new company is CNC Wellness. And you can contact me at 832-434-0855. And the website is cndcwellness.com.
And Teresa's Teresa, Cody,
Right.
Cody, and the CNC is CANDC Wellness.
Red, you are going to be a contestant on the Spelling Bee show next time instead of the judge. Doctor, thank you so much. I learned a lot from you today. And if I lived closer, I would definitely come there and get it all done. Believe me.
Yeah. And if you had enough time off from your show, you could actually fly in.
You're right. But I'm here 7 days a week. So
we could do your show from here.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just pack up the green screen and my mother and head out that way. Well, please do come back and see us. Come on the corner bookstore and talk about your book.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And
Thank
good
you.
to see you, Fred.
Thank you, doctor. Good to see you again.
All right, take care. Bye
All
for
right.
now.
Bye.
Bye.
That was really insightful and interesting.
She's a wonderful person. I've always enjoyed just being around her. She's a wealth of information, great personality. And like I say, the PRP thing is something that I literally picked up a week or two before she said that she was in that business. I'm whoa. And that kind of cemented things in my mind. But anyway, yes, another wonderful day on the Wise Ones.
For sure. And I'm looking forward to when you and Marilyn are going over there to get the procedures. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to talk to you later.
Yeah. Well, she's up with my daughter today in Huntsville, Texas. They're taking care of some domestic stuff that needs to be done up there. So I have the two dogs here with me, and they've been very good so far. So little by little, things are happening.
And heard any barking?
Well, it did, but not when the show was on.
Okay, good.
So
good.
Hopefully we'll get through the next show without a problem.
All right, tell people about the next show. Tell them about Talking Heads, what it is and what you're going to discuss.
Talking Heads is a program on the USA Global TV and Radio Network that allows I'm not going to say a college level presentation, but a presentation on various topics that we have a chance to delve into and provide awareness and education and open our thought processes to things that, yeah, we know a little bit about it, but this is not an overloaded tsunami of information, but it's enough to give you some information that, in my particular case, since I'm talking on health and wellness and things that are related to longevity and age related diseases and things for the most part, but we're looking for things that, what can I do to improve my life? What lifestyle changes can I make? If I'm already on prescription drugs and I have pre-existing conditions, well, I provide information that you can ask your doctor, well, what about this, doc? And these are things that are available, and it's just a matter of listening. And the beauty of the USA Global TV and Radio Network is that you can always go onto the YouTube world and find us and listen to a program that was done a year ago. But the program that we're starting today is on toxins and health. And it's a topic that I started many years ago. I was going to write a book on it. And as I got farther and farther into it, the stack of paper got taller and taller. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this can be one book. Regardless, Today we're talking about toxins and health, and for the next 6 weeks, we're going to be focused on various aspects of toxins and health and what can we do to minimize those things that can cause us problem, particularly as we get older. So today on Talking Heads is going to be Toxins and Health by Red O'Loughlin, and the time coming up is about 11, 12 minutes.
All right, Red, I'll let you get over to the other studio and I'll join you there shortly to produce it for you.
Fantastic. I'll head on that direction right now and stop by and let the dogs out and make sure they get back in again, and we'll go from there. So thank you again, Dr. Jacalyn. We'll catch you in a little bit.
All right. Thanks. Bye. And for each and every one of you out there, thank you so much. I just have a few quick announcements, then I'll be producing Red's show. We have a new show, which is called Talking Peace Around the World. This show title is obviously from a previous show that we had, but this is with 5 broadcasters from around the world, including myself, discussing how and what we can do to bring peace wherever it is we are. So please join Ian Pelham Turner from the UK, Daisy Gideon, who is in Australia as well as Lebanon, Helen Ashard in the UK, and Alcini here in the United States. Another show that it keeps expanding is A Woman's Prerogative. This is a show for women, by women, about women. And we welcome guests. Dr. Cody, we'd love to have you on that one as well. Talking Heads, as we mentioned, is coming up. That's this one. And then I want to give a shout out to Red. Red has helped me with my books. This is an old show title, but just to show them to you, the first book we did together about 18 months ago was Behind the Green Screen, How to Succeed in the Live Broadcasting Business. And this is actually the story of how and why I left corporate America in 2020 and set up this platform as it is today. So it's not really just for people interested in broadcasting. It's really for anybody who wants to know more about me or how to leave corporate and set up your own business. Our second book is Adversity to Awesome, where I interview people from around the world about their stories. My stories in the first chapter, I was raped and I didn't speak of it for decades. And I put the information into the first chapter of this book, and people from around the world sharing their stories. And then on the opposite side of that, we have our children's series, starting with this first book, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor. Each of the animal characters you see on the book cover represents a real person. For example, the red ibis bird represents Red, who's one of our elevated listeners. And together we help children learn elevated listening skills. Our second book is coming out January 14th. Both of these books have become Amazon #1 new releases. So the one on the left is out and available. The one on the right is for pre-order, coming out on the 14th, as I mentioned. And it is Lady Ella's ABCs of Listening. We actually have sheet music that will be in this book to go along with a new song that we wrote called Listening Lazies, Driving Us Crazy. And the third book that's coming out in March is Lady Ella Has Afternoon Tea in London. So I neglected to mention Lady Ella is the ladybug, and the ladybug is me. I'm the listening mentor, and I fly around to different parts of the world teaching children how to listen. But in this case, the children are actually animals. And again, each one of these animals represents someone who took my course, The Power of Listening, and they are on our elevated listening team. So we welcome and encourage everyone out there to become an elevated listener. You are on our team. You get your headshot and you get your certificate of completion on our website, also on drjacalyn.com and usaglobaltv.com. And you get invited to all kinds of unique opportunities that the rest of our team members who have not taken the course because they came in before last year, they will be taking the course, but they're not invited to some of these opportunities. So it's a 2-hour online course and you get certified, you join our team. And that's the end of my announcements for today. I'm going to head over to see Red and produce his show. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Cody. We look forward to having you back again.